Hi all, welcome back to another video of Electronica Exchange. This is Aswinth, editor of Circuit Digest, and in this video I'll be your host for the podcast wherein discuss how wind energy and electronics is powering India's green transition. And to do that we have Mr. Rajesh Kumar Goel, who is the Senior VP of Inox Wind. So sir, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for calling, especially
Okay.
for this conversation. So I'm thankful to Electronic Idea.
Perfect. So, sir, I want to learn more about India's transition into this wind energy. But before we get into that, I want to know a little bit about your personal background. So, you have mostly worked in the automotive sector, and now you have drifted into the wind energy sector. How was this transition happening for you?
Yeah, this is this was surprise for me also. So
Okay.
I was about 28 years. I worked in the auto industry in different department, different kind of segments. I worked with car industry, I worked with tractor industry, and then tire ones also.
Okay.
But in my last organization, before this organization in auto industry, I was doing a sustainable energy project. Circular economy, metal savings, then solar power generation, execution in the plant. So that's how my passion developed for renewable energy, and we started looking after something to do in renewable sector.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I got opportunity in this organization, Inox Wind Limited, and so I got interviewed, I got selected there. So I got my passion basically. So
Okay.
because that time industry was also growing, and in the market also there was boom in 2000, in 21, 22. It was a rising phase. So that's I thought like I catch this train and be successful in the industry. That's how I came to wind energy and sustainable energy industry.
Wonderful. So, Rajesh, sir, you're not just a senior VP, but you're also head of plant business operations.
Yeah.
So, how does your responsibility look like at Inox Wind? What do you handle?
Inox Wind, my responsibility is starting from developing a new product. When design we are getting from joint ventures, then getting it developed with suppliers. Then we are developing capex, machinery, equipments, ordering, then installation in the plants. Then starting mass production of different kind of components of wind turbine. In wind turbines, we have three components.
Okay.
We have blade, we have tower, we have hub nacelle, which is the main power generation unit.
Okay.
So that's how we develop a new model. Like we have 2 megawatt model, we have 3 megawatt model. Now we are developing 4.45 megawatt model also. This means 4.5 megawatt per hour, means 4,450 units per hour. So that's good power generated by a single turbine.
Right.
So in this phase of development, then we mature it, then we develop a prototype, then we install a machine of prototype on the site, test it, then finally we have a approval from MNRE. So we call it as type test certificate, and then we call RLM, LM. So all those kind of government bodies are there who approve the machine after installation and commissioning on the sites. So that's how whole cycle goes. And in this in this whole cycle, my job is to develop the product, execute in the shop floor, and then finally supporting in the erection and commissioning on the sites with our projects team and commissioning team. That's how whole cycle goes. In this wind turbine field.
Okay, sir, understood. You mentioned product development, but from someone looking from outside, it seems to me like wind turbine is a standardized product, right? There are not much variations in it.
Yeah.
So when you mention product development, what exactly is it?
Product development is first is a range of series. In the past, 0.7 megawatt, 1 megawatt machines were made, but now we are going on the higher side because higher capacity, lower capex, and per unit price will be lesser, cheaper.
Okay.
So product development is a series of development like 3x, 4x, 5x. Generally in India, up to 5x is more in demand. But in China, other countries, you see there is a demand of 20x also, 25x also, because it depends on the wind flow. It depends on the site. Each site is a different wind flow. Based on that, we design the machine, we design the product, we define the product, and we execute accordingly for that specific site and manufacture it and then commission it at the site. That's how each kind of product is different, and each site suits a different kind of machine, different kind of height also. We have hub heights, like tower height depends on the location also. So that's how we are designing the product and executing on the sites.
Okay. So you just mentioned three important parts that is being manufactured: the wind turbine, the blades, and the tower.
So this is a half nacelle power generation unit,
Okay.
the blade and tower.
Okay. So how much of electronics is involved in this?
Actually, mainly electronics involved in power generation unit, and and on the ground floor of the turbine is a control unit. So electronics is the heart of the machine, because now all latest technologies are used in designing all kind of electronics, electrical systems to control of the machine. First is the performance of the machine.
Okay.
We call it as power curve. Then, of course, safety of the machine, and then safety of the man.
Okay.
That's how machinery is designed. So now let us all PLC, kind of latest electronics technology use, all world-class technology we are using to control the efficiency of the machine, response of the machine, and off-site also we can control, like IoT and other technology also available. How we can control on off-site location also, we can monitor the performance of machine and take actions accordingly.
Okay. So what is the recent advancements that's happening in wind energy?
There are two reasons. One is the safety, because theft and other cases on the site is very critical.
Okay.
Second is the performance of the machine, because if we go in the olden times, the kind of electronics was not that just-in-time control or on-time response to the machine. Now there is a response of the machine. There is a cut-in speed and cut-out speed of the turbine.
Okay.
It starts from from 6 to 7 meter per second is the cutting speed, and cutout is about 20. Means air comes minimum. What should be the airflow to start a machine? What should be the maximum? Because maximum limit is for safety of the machine. If goes beyond a certain limit,
Breaks
machine
are
can
up.
damage, or some functional error can come. So that's
Okay.
how electronics is controlling whole machine functioning, response, and peak and low of
Load
the
balancing.
power,
Okay.
loads,
Okay.
airflow, all those things.
Okay. You also mentioned the power theft. How are we preventing that?
Pardon?
You also mentioned power theft is a problem in wind turbine.
Not power theft. I should say component theft.
Okay.
Component theft. Like
Okay.
if there is no safety feature, no proper electronic safety locks are there. So on the
How
side,
are we handling it? How are we solving it?
we are putting some kind of special softwares.
Okay.
Okay, we are putting special kind of electronics locks in the system, so that anybody cannot cannot touch the machine, cannot alter the machine, cannot sabotage the machine. So that's how different softwares, hardwares are incorporated in the machine.
So you sometime back you compared Indian market with Chinese market and how it is different. Can you talk a bit more, like comparing India's market to the global market? How are we
Indian
different?
market is a growing market.
Okay.
Recently, I read it like we are on the fourth or fifth stage in wind power.
Okay.
China, of course, is number one, because they have invented a lot. To the world, they are catering this technology, kind of forging, casting, some higher-end technologies they have developed, because
Okay.
they have good wind flow in their country, because they have mountains and the kind of areas, geographical advantage they have. So they are leading in wind turbines. So they design, in fact, develop all kind of components and supply to whole of the world. Europe and other countries also buying from China, but it's cheaper.
Okay.
In India also, we are trying to develop such kind of sources, because government has put a lot of regulations in ALMM. We should localize major components like gearbox, generator, castings, towers, all those things. But yes, still our infrastructure has to be developed for heavy forging, for heavy castings. Only then we can localize and we can compete with China, all those kind of technology. In case of wind field, I talk about.
Do you see the Indian market growing? Like what changes have you observed in the market?
Indian market is growing. Like if you see, we have reached about 11% of renewable energy, and in 2030 we are targeting about 30% of total power generation by renewable energy. Wind sector also growing like anything. We are targeting to reach about 30 to 40 gigawatts in 2030, which is about now 10 to 12 gigawatt now. So that's how rapidly even solar sector also growing very well. Other renewable energy like biomass and other sectors are also growing very well. And soon, I think 30 to 40% will, dependency will be on the renewable energy, not on the fossil fuels, coal or diesel, petrol or like that.
Right. But if you have to point out some problems in India which is preventing mass adoption of wind energy, what would be those problems?
There are two things. First thing is government support required for putting, heavy components like heavy castings, heavy forgings.
Okay.
So that setup is not available in India. China, it's government supported.
So how are we managing in India without that infrastructure?
We are importing.
Okay.
Maximum companies are importing from China.
Oh.
I should say 90% companies are importing. Only Sazlon has some localization content in India, but most of the companies are importing from China because in India we don't have setup. If some component setup is there, cost economics become difficult because volumes are not there with the manufacturer.
Right.
So that's how government index some money. Like in China, they have put some money with private companies to promote those kind of business. This is very important in India to have some joint venture or some kind of investment, joint investment for such technology which is rarely available in India.
So you mentioned two problems. One is the infrastructure. The second one is?
Second one is our local authorities. Like when we go for execution and commissioning on the sites, local legacy farmers are not cooperating. Local, MLAs are they are pulling like anything. So that government direction should be clear because one side government want a lot of renewable energy growth, other side only government officials sitting in different areas, pulling different companies in a different way. So that leads to delay in projects. So which is loss because we have made the machine, you have dumped the machine on the site, but you can't erect and commission on time.
Right.
So that wastage of money. Ultimately, you have invested country's money.
ROI
But
is
ROI is not there. You can't commission it. You can't generate the power. So that's how things are stuck in.
understood. So, sir, India's climate is different at different regions, and our country is really vast. So, when you're planning for erection or even deciding the specifications of a turbine, does it change based on the location? What
Actually, I tell you, this design is apparently majorly from European companies, from Germany, Austria. They design at -30,
Right.
-40.
Right.
India conditions,
It's not
some
applicable.
areas are -4, -5,
Huh.
but most of the areas 40, 50.
Right.
So they design like it at minus also, plus also, there is no impact. If it goes on the higher temperature, so we have a different kind of cooling system, like for generator, for gearbox, for drives, we have cooling systems. It goes, temperature goes up. So we have put ACs, electronic system, we have put, all those we have put air conditioned.
Okay.
So that electronic components are not overheated and it remains conditioned and there is no damage to the component. That's how technology is evolving in case of all renewable energy sector.
Right. So when we talk about wind turbines, one thing that goes hand in hand is battery packs, or am I understanding it wrong? Every wind turbine is associated with a battery pack,
No,
right?
no.
It's connected directly to the grid.
No. Battery backup is something different.
Okay.
Every turbine is connected with the US. This is USS. The small transformer is there.
Okay.
Specific to that turbine.
Okay.
But storage system is something different. Storage system concept is that in the day generally solar is there we can generate solar power, wind in the day also, night also. But sometimes power generation by both is more. Then it is wastage if you can't transmit immediately.
Right.
Then what they're planning to have a backup storage system, whatever power comes or electricity comes from solar or wind, they store it into it when in the day or night, when wind is not there or solar is not there. So that power releases to the grid. So in that case, dependency on the non-renewable energy will be not there because it is called RDC, round the clock power.
Okay.
So if wind is not there, solar is not there, then in the day, anytime, what you will do?
Correct.
You will not have power generation. Your supply will be choked. So that's how RDC is playing concept. So solar, wind, and this energy storage system. This is government promoting as a package. So that in some areas, dependency on the non-renewable is not there. When there is a storage of 24 or 30 or 50 hours, when solar is down or wind is down, that backup power is supplied to the grid, and there is uninterrupted power supply to the area wherever you are.
Okay. So how many wind turbines have this backup power unit? Like if you have to compare most wind turbines
No,
do.
it is a new concept. As of now, only 0.8 or 1 gigawatt hour capacity is installed.
Okay.
So in the target, like by 2030, targeting by 200 plus gigawatt hour capacity. Slowly it is increasing. As of now, very few areas only this kind of backup storage is developed and executed on the sites. But it's growing. I think next 2 3 years it's rapidly growing. Many companies are coming. Many customers are asking for this kind of setup to put on the sites.
Okay. So, sir, from 10 to 15 years from now, how do you think India's wind energy adoption would
Wind
be?
energy, I told you, we are at about 10 gigawatt now, 10 to 12 gigawatt. So we are targeting up to we have a potential to go up to 40, 50 gigawatt
Okay.
capacity in the India. We have potential up to 50 gigawatt. So slowly it's going. I think we should reach more than 40 gigawatt in next 6 years, 5 to 6 years.
What is Inox Wind's personal milestone in this transition?
We have already a big portfolio, so I cannot speak figures. Yes, we are targeting year on year about doubling our capacities, doubling our demand. Everything is going on, so it's growing very fast.
Wonderful.
In last 3 years, we have grown very fast.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking time and explaining things.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
really
you. Nice meeting you.